Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty. So I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show. And I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, beloved. I'm Monica Bermudez. I'm your host for Ascended Earth podcast. So, welcome back to another episode. I just recorded an episode about the angelic frequency of energy and vibration. And I just wanted to mention that one of the other archangels that I really love to work with is Archangel Gabriel. So I can't forget about Archangel Gabriel because Archangel Gabriel is my go-to for a lot of my presentations, my speech, my podcast hosting, podcasting in general, but also in writing as well. I always feel so inspired with new ideas, writing, my book as well as like other articles that I've been so inspired to write. So definitely Archangel Gabriel is always present, especially when it comes to these podcasting and information that I wish to relay over to you. So if you haven't listened to the episode just yet about the angelic frequency, go over and check out the episode on it, where I do talk about some of the other archangels and ways to support you right now with all the ongoing changes going on the planet itself. In this one, I want to talk about the timelines because the timelines have been fluid, I would say. Um, and especially with so many things going on with the planetary shift of energies, looking at the human resonance chart, which I do have an app for. Just recently, when Mercury went retrograde on July 17th of 2025, making it 5 planets in total for the month of July. The 5 planets are Mercury, Uranus, Saturn, Neptune. Um, I'm missing one. Oh, Pluto. Can't forget Pluto. But all of those are like the death and rebirth type, planet for Pluto. Uranus is more like a surprise planet and it's innovative as well, but it's always looking at new ways of doing things. Saturn's a little more like restrictive, right? It's about structures, but it's also the planet of karma. Um, and Mercury is about communication. So it's quite a mix of planets going on right now. um, but yeah, so there's so many, changes, and it's not surprising. It's not a coincidence that when the human resonance went haywire, when I say haywire, I mean that you could see like clearly that there was this white area that was very, very it was huge, it was taking up most of the chart. Um, and that really consumed, and it just seemed to cut off. And usually the colors just mean how intense the frequency is of the electromagnetic energy of the earth itself. Um, and what that means is that, the human resonance is also related to the heartbeat of earth. So that just means that there's just so much intensity going on with the energies. And there hasn't been really that much of a solar flash, lately, but the sun does feel like it is reaching at a solar maximum. And so, you know, it's gonna be very interesting, I would say, for like the Lionsgate portal because it does involve the whole realignment of the sun with like Sirius B energy, which is also considered to be like another sun, like the central sun and all this other stuff. And so there's gonna be a lot that's going to happen for that portal. And I would say that we are building up for that energy right now. And that's why the timelines just feel like they are accelerated. Um, and the way the timelines work is based on the choices and the decisions that we make. And so if there's so much of that going on all at once, then, a lot of it's going to shift and accelerate rapidly. Um, so where I am with this episode, I want to focus on the collapsing of the old timelines, and also just really jumping into like the manifestation in real time, but going over like 5 powerful ways of doing that I myself have been looking at myself. Um, One of the archangels who works with the timelines, I would say a lot, I would say is Archangel Metatron. So because I've used him so much in many of my private sessions where he's taken so many of my clients, some of these past timelines, and I've been blown away by the outcome and the information that I get, from the clients and what they see. They actually clairvoyantly see, where they get taken to when it first started, like the root cause of the trauma or the pattern, toxic pattern that they're feeling, or, they want to break. And so, in a way, though, that's, serving to collapse that old timeline. And that's what these sessions are intended for, is to really break those, collapse those timelines as well. Um, I remember through hypnotic sessions, I had a hypnosis, session or hypnotherapy, I would say, with, someone who was a certified hypnotics. And in that hypnosis, I went back to the time when I was on Mu, which is the name of the continent for the Lemurian race. And I would say, like the high priestess or the guardian of this temple that was associated to the timelines. So I worked in that temple to really help shift the timelines and manage them, I would say, like in a way, to help, with the collective and also help, individually as well. And in that session though that I had, with other person, I was actually very actively working on a timeline for myself, like being in the present, the future aspect, and from that past. So it was really fascinating, and it's a rare thing to do when you're in that state. But I always get blown away by these sessions. Um, and finally, that I've also worked with the cosmic, the Arcturian, star beings. They are very much into the timelines as well. I do have a cosmic avatar that is like Arcturian like, works in the astral realm of these different timelines, especially in Mount Shasta, where there's, a lot of active portals, some of which, are connected to the universe and the multiverse and so forth. So I know that that cosmic aspect of myself is doing a lot of the astral work. I don't always know exactly what it is they're doing, but I do get some glimpses of, what they're working on. Um, but yeah, just a little information there in the timelines, why I'm so fascinated by timelines and why I love to share it so much with everybody and talk about it all the time. Um, because this is, where I guess my jam is. But I wanted to do this episode, to assist with those who want to like work more on collapsing the old timelines and finding ways to do that. And, other ways to just like help the collective going through all of these changes right now and being able to tap into your highest timeline, um, the one that where things flow with ease and grace. And I desire it for all of us, including myself, because we're all in this together with all the changes going on. So, um, as I've said, timelines are associated to our decisions and what we choose. I've been personally trying to like modify my timelines in a different way, like collapsing it. in a different way. So I look at the things that I do constantly, right? Like certain patterns that I do on a routine basis. Like, for example, if I get up in the morning, do I go straight to make my coffee? So instead of doing that, what if I choose to just make tea instead of coffee? So, like, really just breaking those little small patterns of habits, right? Little choices that we make. And that also shifts some of the timeline, in itself and collapsing it. So I would say that's number one is focusing on the things, trying to be more aware of the decisions that you're making and the choices, and just really trying to break little small patterns and habits um, with yourself and just looking at that from that way.
Unlock your limitless potential with the monthly Multiversal Circle of Creation. This sacred quantum manifestation ritual will awaken your inner power and connect you to the successful versions of yourself across the multiverse. Clear blocks, amplify your creative energy, and set powerful intentions for abundance, love, and possibilities. Activate your galactic aspects, recalibrate your nervous system, and manifest your dreams with cosmic clarity. Available in person and via Zoom. Join us for this transformative experience today.
So, this would be like, for instance, you can look at it as, what is the loop? Because a habit is a loop, right? You want to identify what those loops are that keep repeating and repeating itself. And so that also helps to break certain belief systems and become aware of it, um, or any type of behavior that you keep, going about. So that also helps with this collapsing of the old one, by identifying what those loops are and those habits are. So you could do this as a practical part of your journaling, right? You can prompt this question to yourself. What reality am I keeping alive by my thoughts, words, or actions? And that could be your homework. Number two, call back your energy from the past. So I've noticed though that, and I noticed this mostly with myself and also with clients, is that a lot of our power leaks are still like there's remnants of it in the different past timelines where, especially if we've gone through like certain trauma. For those who resonate with this and know that they've been persecuted before, they've died in traumatic ways, like I have, and I've remembered a lot of our power, there's been a lot of our power leak, I would say, and it's been like these fractures of ourselves in these different timelines. So, when we're holding on to these fragments of ourselves, right, that are trapped in these past pains and traumas, regrets, or stories, or even in this lifetime, right, if we've had like heartbreaking events come up, like losing a job or losing, someone in our life, um, there's fragments of us, of our own power that has been um, left, on some of these timelines. So the best way to really, practice this to calling back your own energy is to just visualize calling back your energy from all people, timelines, and versions of you that no longer serve. And you can ask Archangel Metatron to assist you with this as well as you're visualizing this, calling this back. And you could say to yourself, I release contracts and codes from timelines that are now complete. I retrieve my full light and presence now. And feel free to just pause on some of these, right, to really take in the information that you need from it, as well as go back and re listen to some of these phrases for yourself and practical guidance as well. And the third one, you want to clear identity attachment. So every timeline holds, a version of you. To shift, you must let go of the identity that you're attached to, that, past version. That could be like if you, for example, you've gone through a breakup and you're holding on to that whole breakup, that pain, that trauma behind it. So you want to ask yourself, what version of me do I need to release? what emotions do I still identify with, like victim, achiever, or martyr? Um, so ask yourself these questions and really just dig in that way, finding out, where it is that there's these old versions of you that is time to just really let go of these old identities, because that's really what it is with these timeline shifts. There's an old version of you, somewhere else, and another like newer version of you as well. And you could do as like your own ritual, right? Where you could just burn your own letter of, your old self, or, saying like a farewell ceremony, but it doesn't really have to be a farewell, because the way I see it is that a lot of the old versions of ourselves are really just alchemized and integrated um, in the newer version, because the shadow is really a big part of the light as well. The light gets brighter with every shadow that is, brought up, that is alchemized and made part of, the light itself. And the fourth one, you want to choose the new timeline with clarity. Timelines respond to your frequency more so than anything. Um, so as you are, choosing, you want to also put your frequency into it. Um, Frequency of, love, I would say. Using a lot of the frequency of love, and also with confidence and trust that it is happening. Um, and this could be like, focusing on, say, relationships and health and purpose. Um, and you can also bring in some of your future self aspect as your own guidance. And there's a lot, I would say, there's a lot of your future self that is a big part of your spirit guides, because your future self already knows you well enough, right? That that's why they are able to, I would say, time travel in a way, in astral, form, or in other ways, to become your spirit guide right now, to be your own guidance, to help you on the path that you're meant to be at a soul level, that is part of your contractual learning and activation and purpose, and whatever you come to fulfill in this moment here on earth, as well as complete. So you could write a letter to your own future self and talk to yourself in that way. The one who's already gone through the guidance, through the steps, that you're right now pretty much unraveling and unfolding in this moment of this present moment. And the last one, the fifth one, is to be in this very present moment, in the now moment. So, in other words, a quantum embodiment. Your highest timeline activates when you start being the version of you who already lives it, who already has what is, being asked for manifestation. Um, so just, walking the talk pretty much, and embodying it, embodying your wealth, embodying that frequency of abundance, and really having it with confidence, and feeling it with confidence, and that trust that it's there. Um, so these are the 5 powerful ways, right, that you will collapse your old timelines and manifest in real time as well. Some techniques and tools, a lot of which, of course, I do in my circle, my multiversal circle of creation, as a group, which is very powerful when it's done together as a group. So I wish you well on this path with the timeline collapsing, and I will catch you in another episode.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.